celebrating the African diaspora and the people of color, how we got over. My soul looked back and wondered how we got over. It was sometime between the years of 1600 and the 1800s, spans of 200 years. In fact, it was 1619 from the shores of West Africa. Men, women, and children was captured and sold in exchange for goods. They was loaded on ships that transported them to the New World through the Mid-Passage, which was the journey that slave ships took across the Atlantic to North America. Many didn't make it to this New World because the conditions on the ship were so horrific. It brought disease to many, and still others who would rather be dead than endure the suffering and the unknown. They threw themselves overboard. They drowned in a deep, dark sea. When the weather was good, the slaves would be brought up on the deck for some exercise, and they would be required to jump up and down to the rhythm of the American drums of metal tin. The ones that made it, the ones that did make it, the kings and queens and architects and musicians, they brought their skills and knowledge with them to build out North America. Not only did they bring their skill sets, but they brought their music. And in their music, it provided their own personal life experience. As slaves, they did not lose their African Holy Ghost, but they kept on singing. Even though it was hard for them to sing the Lord's song in a strange land, they kept singing. And through their songs, it provided them the hope that a better day will come. Enjoy this time, because there is a story in a song.
Mama is Is he a guy to sell us down to Georgia? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, down to Georgia. Watch and pray. Oh, Mama, don't you grieve after me. Oh, Mama, don't you grieve after me. Watch and in the water, pray in the water, children, pray in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Pray in the water, pray in the water, children, pray in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
See those children all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the children of the Israelites. God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, wait in the water. Wait in the water, children. Wait in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, see the children of dressed in red. God's gonna trouble the water. You know it's not big children now. God's gonna trouble the water. Wait in the water. Wait in the water, children. Wait in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wait in the water. Wait in the water, children. Wait in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
touch our people's side. We have come over a wave that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the bright gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us thus on the way, thou who has by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, that we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land.
Till that old ship of Zion, till the old ship of Zion, till the old ship of Zion. Get on board. Get on board. It has landed many a thousand. It has landed many a thousand. Oh, it has landed many a thousand. Get on board. Get on board. Give me that old ship of Zion. Give me that old ship of Zion. Oh, give me that old ship of Zion. Get on board. Get on board. Ain't no danger in the water. Ain't no danger in the water. Oh, ain't no danger in the water. Get on board. Get on board. It was good enough for my father. It was good enough for my father. Hey, it was good enough for my father. Get on board. Get on board. It was good enough for my mother. It was good enough, hey, for my mother. Oh, it was good enough, oh my, for my mother. Oh yes, yeah. Get on board. Get on board till that old ship of Zion, till that old ship of Zion, till that old ship of Zion. Get on board. Get on board. Get on board. Yeah. On
Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart. Lord, I want to be like Jesus in my heart, in my heart. Lord, I want to be like Jesus in my heart. Lord, I want to be like Jesus in my heart.
We live in a world where anger and hatred fills the hearts and souls of many. But the thing is, love should fill your heart. Don't fight with anger and hatred consuming you. Fight with love, pure love for what you're fighting for. convert that anger into undying love for justice. Our ancestors were taken, stolen from their homelands, forced to obey the rules of their master. Centuries of suffering, of pain, passed on for generations, scars that are no longer visible on the body, but in our minds and in our souls. How did we survive? How are we surviving? You want to know how? By having strength, by having faith, by showing love, by showing courage. To pray to a God is what helps. That's what got us over. Praying to a God for strength. Praying that all of this was not for nothing. Praying that one day we will rise up from the shackles placed on us, holding us down, holding us back. Praying that one day our children would not have to face the same trials that we did. That's how we got over.
People of African descent were among the earliest non-indigenous settlers of what would become the United States, and the rich African musical heritage that would carry with them was a part of the foundation of the new America musical culture that mixed African tradition with those of Europeans and the Americans. The music of the African Americans is one of the most poetic and inseparable example of the importance of the African American experience to the culture and the heritage of all Americans, regardless of their race and origin. In the United States, churches have had a provocative role in uniting and strengthening the African American communities. And within those churches, music had been and still is the medium through which congregations have built a sense of spirit and strength and celebration. Though their language and children and culture were stolen, men and women of the African diaspora have used music over the centuries to connect with one another and with the heritage for which they were torn. This music remains in memory and passed down through generations. So hold on to your song. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land or a pagan land? We can if we hold on to our song. God bless you. May this African American month, may it not just be a month, but may we continue to reflect on the history, culture, and tradition that has been packed in a song. Hold on to your song. God bless you.
Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I was born by the river, in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's something beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. See, I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother. I say, brother, help me, please. Yeah. But then he winds up knocking me right back on my knees. Oh, there's been times that I thought I wouldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Ooh.